I want to know where you guys come down on the Signal chat leak that showed that
Uneducated.
all these Democrats.
I don't know.
It depends what they're saying should be done, because if I'm as much
are you
as I
familiar
like
with it?
Yes. So they're clearly trying to organize people to show up where the ICE raids are going to happen and warn people that they're coming. And the interfering with an investigation is a crime. I don't know if all of them are taking that step into interference. But you could argue that blowing rape whistles and playing bongos is interfering with a federal investigation. I don't know if it is or not. I don't know if that's like chargeable. If you can go arrest a guy for playing bongos while you're trying to like do your job over there. I'm not sure if that's a crime.
I think that's lessening it a bit. Like the whistle thing and bongo thing. I agree with you.
That's the worst part to me.
Who's to fucking say? Yeah, the whistles are fucking loud. Those are loud ass
whistles. So many whistles.
There's so many whistles.
And it raises my stress levels watching it. And I can imagine if I'm there, like worried that.
That's actually the purpose of it. So this is a tactic that people use to try and goad law enforcement into overreacting to things. Is they try and keep them high stress. They try and fuck with them. And you can read Rules for Radicals. You can read Anarchist Cookbook. Like this has been a standard protests like strategy for. Are you serious?
I've never read Anarchist Cookbook, but it was always my assumption that they were alerting illegals to either run or stay indoors or something like that.
So they weren't alerting illegals with that. The Signal chat was the
Lieutenant
Governor of Minnesota. Oh, the whistle. The whistles are, they can multifaceted, right? They can, they're here, run. Or it can just be surrounding them, trying to fuck with them. But the Signal chat is a big deal because that's the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota and a lot of Democrats. She was just in the Signal chat, and so she
just monitored it.
And so what they did is, and they also illegally scanned using turncoat feds 5,000 plus license plates. So anyone who drove through Minnesota in an SUV that they thought looked like ICE, they ran their plates and they had a giant network that said confirmed ICE or suspected ICE. And that's why, I don't know if these have made it outside of the Twitterverse, but there have been dozens of videos over the past couple of weeks of like these agitators going up to random people that aren't ICE and being like, fuck you, give me your ID. Are you ICE? Are you ICE? Are you deporting people? And it's just like a well-dressed white guy who's like, what the fuck are you talking? Get away from me, please. Like they're harassing these people. So the problem is that it is a organized chat where a bunch of government officials and feds and police officers are actively working against federal agents.
What did the government officials say?
The government officials were in there, maybe they were
actively working against them.
They were actively in this chat. And what this chat did is
what did they say?
They ran license plates for, so like some ICE or agitator activist would send a license plate in, and then
one of the governor did that
in there. I don't know what she did in there, but you
keep framing it like the lieutenant governor was actively in this, coordinating, organizing.
She was. It was a Signal chat. Like she was aware of all of this happening. I don't have her chat logs. So
what if you framed it as she monitored it but didn't do or say anything? She was keeping tabs on them.
Then she was keeping tabs on an illegal operation to disrupt federal agents from enacting. And I know what Harley said, like, enacting the law. 70 plus million people voted for mass deportations. That's what our most recent election really was. It was a referendum on that. It's still 60 plus percent popular. Like we want mass deportations. And so a relatively small group in Minnesota of elected officials working in such a way as to subvert the will of the public that's being enacted via ICE deporting illegals is obstruction. And so it's a huge scandal. And I don't think it is any coincidence that it was within a couple hours of the Signal chat being leaked that Tim Walz, who had previously said, like, we're at war, this and that, we will never side with ICE, we will never protect ICE, that Signal chat leaks. And by that evening, he has reactivated Minneapolis PD to work with ICE. Like, clearly it looks bad for them because they're working undercover to subvert deportation operations, which is crazy. That's a crazy.
I'm not sure if anything in the Signal chat is going to come to go beyond.
Well, Republicans are pussies and losers, and so they won't end up charging these people probably.
I just don't think they broke any laws. I think they're organizing to go and fuck with ICE. But if they were in there organizing to assault, injure, harm, or something like that,
because that's
that means blowing whistles, playing bongos, standing on the corner calling them faggots.
Does it mean throwing rocks at them and throwing frozen water bottles?
Well, if it's in the chat,
biting their fingers off.
It's irrelevant what they do when they get there. It's more important what's in the chat. Like if in the chat, the lieutenant governor was like, make sure you freeze your water bottles. Those will put a hurting on them. Now you've committed a crime, right? There's some sort of conspiracy to.
There's already a conspiracy. It's a giant chat of government officials.
Conspiracy to do what?
Telling a bunch of agitators where they need to go to disrupt lawful operations. That is a crime already.
Just FYI, I think you might not know.
You're assigning intent, though.
But they were using Facebook for that too, out in the open. And I think those Facebook groups got shut down. But
they did because they were behaving illegally.
People had different roles. One I remember was commuter. And I'm like, commuter, what's that? That's when they follow them around. And I don't know if they obstruct them so much as they make them feel uncomfortable and followed. And that's what a commuter does. Commuters, I read somebody talking about it, and they're like, it's really a super boring job. You spend most of your time in places where ICE isn't even there, waiting for ICE to show up, and it's boring. That's like the bulk of what they do. But anyway, they were using Facebook to do it for a long time. And I feel like because it's Signal, it's somehow like salacious. Like, oh my God, a secret encrypted conversation. When they were also doing it on Facebook out in the open.
Why didn't they have a public Twitter group where they did this?
Why do you think? Who owns Twitter?
Because it's illegal. I just picked a site. Okay, a public Facebook group. Those Facebook groups got shut down because what they're doing is illegal.
What's the crime? What's the crime?
They're obstructing justice. They are actively trying to prevent ICE from engaging.
What is the crime? So the crime is obstruction or conspiracy to obstruct?
No, it would be obstruction because they have repeatedly obstructed for weeks and weeks now.
We're talking about the Signal chat in particular, though.
That's what I'm talking about.
You have to tie an action to something that was that came from the Signal chat, not just an agent's location or tracking where they are. You have to find an order being handed down or a coordinated group saying, we're going to hit them hard today. We're going to throw piss on them. And then you got to show me where they threw the piss on them. Then there was a conspiracy on an encrypted Signal chat. The lieutenant governor was in there, and she handed the orders down. If any of that happened, that sounds bad and criminal to me. But what I think it was them organizing to fuck with ICE, to tell them they had small dicks, to yell at them, yelling, shouting, waving signs,
throwing rocks,
bongos,
obstructing. Like
I haven't seen any rock throwing. Look, I'm on your side with this thing, but I'm just saying you got to be honest about what's happening. I haven't seen a single rock get thrown. I haven't seen that yet. I've seen ICE agents threaten people's lives for no reason.
You didn't see the Border Patrol agent with his hands all bloody defending that destroyed hotel by himself 3 nights ago because
I got to see that.
Yeah, because Minneapolis
destroyed hotel.
Yes, they ransacked the hotel because they were told on that Signal chat where ICE agents are staying.
But in the Signal chat, did they tell them to assault the ICE agents and ransack and destroy his hands? Was he mutilated?
They know what it's saying. They say, well, I wouldn't say mutilated because I would say he had bloody hands and he did get hit with a rock. But
you're not talking about the one who got bit.
No. That was a different guy.
That guy was mutilated.
That is mutilated.
That's mutilation.
But no, it was a couple of border. They weren't even ICE. They were Border Patrol. Or no, one of them. It was actually a Fed who got brought in. He was working for the Bureau of Prisons, and he was standing in front of this hotel. And because this illegal Signal chat told all of their cronies where they're staying, they went there. They started throwing rocks, and this guy was out front getting pelted and bloody, and nobody came to help. He asked out loud. He's like, no. He asked out loud. He said, "Where is Minneapolis PD?
Okay, where is the local PD?
Where's Minneapolis PD?" But at that time, this was before the Signal leak. Tim Walz and Jacob Frey, the governor and mayor of Minneapolis, Minneapolis, respectively, they were still on their stand down orders. Like, hey, don't go in, don't help ICE, don't arrest people, like just stay home. And so this guy could have died.
I want to see your video. I just can't find it on the internet.
I'll have to find it later. I'll have to search through my Twitter likes or something. But
so a hotel was invaded and destroyed, and an ICE agent was left bloody from throwing.
No. It wasn't even an ICE agent. It was a Bureau of Prisons agent who had been brought in to help.
Okay.
And
I
he was
have heard that they're like outing the hotels they're staying in and trying to deny them sleep by being noisy.
Yeah, I've seen
and restaurants aren't serving them. Yeah,
but it wasn't just normal. Like it wasn't just. I'm sorry, not normal. Noisy. Like
okay. Like none of this is normal. No one's doing anything normal.
We're in a very abnormal time, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, it wasn't just noisy. It was them going to these hotels and agitating, and they destroyed the whole bottom floor of this hotel.
I mean, ICE is unpopular.
I'll find you the video.
It sounds like an exaggeration.
It's troublesome because I heard him describe the shooting, and then I saw the video, and I was like, "Holy shit, this guy worked for Stephen Miller." Did Stephen Miller tell you what to say too?
I'm waiting to see a destroyed first floor of a hotel and a poor lowly Bureau of Prison Management guy with bloody hands from the rocks that have pelted him as he begs the sky for intervention from
I'll
the
have to find a
police.
better one, but that's the best one. I just searched ICE rioter. Oh, this is too late. This is after they were throwing shit. I need to find the throwing shit one. Sure. Yeah. And basically, it seems to me like it comes down to like the states that are getting the wildest are the states where the leadership tells the local and state police not to assist the feds, like in Minnesota or I think California. Maybe they've come around on it. Right.
Yeah, that's a problem. That I think when you say assist, it's just so broad. Like I don't know what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's again way too broad.
Basically, like if but what I mean by work with is if Minneapolis PD were there the first time Preddy committed a bunch of crimes against the feds, he would have been arrested and put in jail by Minneapolis PD, not by ICE, because they don't have the authority to do that. ICE would have handed him over to Minneapolis PD, but because Minneapolis PD was told to stand down, they weren't there, and so they just released him.
I don't think California was told to stand down. I remember them doing all the crowd controls, stamping out every little uprising, being like, the National Guard doesn't need to be here. We more than have this under control.
Well, that was a riot. They were burning the city. See, the difference in Minneapolis is they're not destroying property. They're not burning anything that I
just linked you them destroying a lot of hotel property.
I saw like a scuffle maybe had happened and one of those yellow we're mopping here signs had fallen over. I didn't see like the floor of a hotel destroyed.
It fell all the way over, Kyle?
It was, well, not all the way over, but
in order for you to think, so for you to say it's destroyed because you mentioned the floor, some guy would have to go in and be like, and like prying up boards on the floor.
No, but I would expect like, I don't know, the place to have been burnt or singed or exploded in some way. I saw some broken glass and some spray paint, and that guy had somehow. He probably cut himself. He had his hands were all bloody. He probably cut himself
by a projectile. That's how
he probably thought he was beating a protester and hit some glass or something like that.
That wasn't even nice. That was Bureau of Prisons.
Oh, the lowest rat on the rung. Oh, I'm glad you clarified that. The guys in the Bureau of Prisons are the worst of the worst. Fuck,
he deserved it, right?
Honestly, he did deserve it, Taylor. Like I'm gonna hop on Signal right now and congratulate the boys. I'm gonna send it by your house later on.
That would be
how it works.
The funniest possible thing. If Kyle was like, this isn't a crime because he's in the Signal chat. I was just moving the whole time.
No, I didn't see that it was destroyed. What I think they need to do is that the police should definitely be there during operations. Like when ICE when ICE tells them that we're going to this address. See, the problem is that they can't. That the real problem, and you're right about it. Because here's what would happen if ICE contacts the local PD and says, we're going to fucking 31 Chestnut Street and we're going to lock up this Rodriguez guy. I think that it's going to be on the Signal chat before ICE makes it to the doorstep.
Yeah, that's
and
why
then there's going to be protesters outside going, don't come out, Julio! And Julio's going to be like, fucking noted. like